Greetings and welcome back to Switch to Linux. If you are watching for notifications, you are not going crazy. I put this stream up 10 minutes ago. So I did have to take a trip this week, and I kind of made that announcement, I think, on just a couple other videos where several of my people were at. So hopefully you guys got the message out that I was possibly traveling, but I didn't actually know for sure until actually Friday. So I didn't actually prepare a news. I am going to stream something tomorrow. I will either stream a tinfoil hat time, or I will stream a news, or I will stream something with Total OS today if he's available. I just don't know yet. I sent him an email a couple days ago and haven't heard back yet. So Total OS today, if you're out there, are we streaming tomorrow? Let me know. I'll be around. Oh boy. So I just got in about, maybe about an hour ago, I'd say. I think around 8:30 or so. It was about the time we rolled back into town, and actually it was like 8:45. So I think I walked back in my door about an hour ago, came in, caught up on a few things, and said, what can I do really quick? Aha! A new Linux Lite came out. Cubes came out as well. I think a new release candidate for Cubes 4.0 came out. I don't look at that in virtual boxes because it doesn't like virtual boxes. Likely so. But regardless, we're going to have a quick look here at Linux Lite. If I can find my title. Where's my title? There we go. So this is 3.8. And Kitty wants to say hello. Hello, people. Use Linux Lite. It rocks. All right. Let's see. So, Brian the Computer Geek. Hello, sir. Where's my comments? Find me my comments. There we are. Brian the Computer Geek. Hello, sir. And the Lamer Linux. Hello. Mitchell Morrison. Greetings. Keegan the Tennessean. How is Tennessee today? I gotta keep it quiet. I forgot. I'm streaming way later than I usually do. I'm gonna try and keep quiet. In fact, I'm gonna move the microphone closer. Ooh. All right, Wesley Lewis. Hello, Wesley. All you do, useful information you gave to us. Absolutely, no problem, Wesley. Linux Lite 3.8 is really great. Haha, you're a poet and you didn't even know it. Linux 3.8, Linux Lite 3.8 is really, really, really great. Hello, Pizza Lovin' Nerd. The answer to your question, Pizza, no, I have not done that out of the video we were talking about yet. Maybe tomorrow? I don't know, dude. I don't know. I'll get to it. Ryan, hello. Maverick, I keep still wanting to call you SLC. I live too close to Salt Lake City. But anyway, greetings, Maverick. And hello, Ivan, and hello, Spotty Sylvia. Greetings. Hello, Microsoft will buy EA games. Your games might need a Microsoft update. What? They're gonna buy EA games? Yeah, you see a cattail. Ooh, it's a cattail. Ooh, it's a kitty face. So that's kind of scary of EA. Like, I thought EA games sucked bad enough. I mean, is it possible that it could possibly get worse? Could Microsoft kill it even worse? I mean, I'm just curious. I'm kind of an outsider looking in. I don't really play video games. Although when this video is over, I'm gonna play some really nice Final Fantasy #1. I got me a party and I'm beating people up, and it's been a kind of weekend. I should try the Shell OS if you want a distro worse than Elementary. I don't really want a distro worse than Elementary. Is that on my list there? I think I have that around somewhere. I don't know. Yeah, maybe I'll look into that. Hello, Jason24. Hey, friends, want to stop by for a sec. All right, man. Have fun, Pizza Lovin' Nerd. I'll catch you later. It was sunny and 45 degrees today. Not too shabby. Yeah, it was like sub-zero where I was. It's actually... I'm glad to be back in State College because it's almost close to freezing. It's been like single-digit temperatures for the last couple bit. All right, let's go ahead and have a look at Linux Lite. If you are unfamiliar with Linux Lite, this is one of those distros that if you ask me, like, I got this really old computer, what will run on it? It's going to be either, now I personally use Peppermint for those types of computers. Linux Lite is another good option. And let's see, Peppermint, Linux Lite, what's the other one? There's 3 of them that I would generally recommend, and the other one is escaping me at the moment. I'm sure somebody knows exactly what I'm talking about. You guys can tell me in there in the comments. But Linux Lite is one of these systems that it's very lightweight. It's based on the lightweight XFCE desktop. and it is built on Ubuntu, and it has a 32 and a 64-bit version. So that is kind of where we're at. So what you can see as far as the features are installed, hey, it has a desktop, it has a menu. It's kind of like, ever see some of the oatmeal one on why printers are sent here from hell to make us crazy or something, I don't know, or to invoke, I don't know, forget what it is. Look at that oatmeal, printers were sent here from hell too, and I forget what the last word was. But he's like, one of the descriptions, they usually have exclamation marks on the box. Ooh, it has a label. Ooh, it prints in 3 colors. Ooh, you know, like, ooh, what do we have? We have a desktop. We have software. Now, these are little videos about the various things that it has. It can connect to the internet, too. Cool. There is a lot of multimedia. So we have Firefox, Thunderbird, Dropbox, Lite software, Chromium, the LibreOffice suite. We have photo editing, a lot of different tools. So what you'd find, Kubuntu is on the list of things. It's not actually one of the other ones that I would always recommend on the lightweight. Like Ubuntu, for me, I have an Ubuntu that I use for my banking stuff, and it's grown unstable over the years. I need to replace it. Actually, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to replace all that information with, I'm just going to build a cube on it on my cubes install, because I think that's better for it anyway. But anyway, the new 3.8 release is out. This will be the final Linux Lite release in the 3 branch. The next one will be Linux Lite 4.0, will be on June 1st. And what they've done in here different, first is they've added a lot more support for LibreOffice. Now, if you're a power user of LibreOffice, you might need to do things like, you know, correction. You might need to install different language packs. You might need to add synonyms. They've added some of those types of supports. This one, I think, specifically includes the synonym support, so you can right click a word and grab a list of synonyms for that word. Very useful if you're a writer. So it has regional support for DVDs. So one of those stupid little things about several DVD players and things like that is DVDs are generally set to their specific region, and it's very hard to move them out of that specific region. But this actually has a system built into it that allows you to just change the region on the fly, apparently, which is kind of cool. Now, I've known DVD-ROMs in the past, you could change their region a limited number of times per the device. I'm not sure if that still applies in this case or not, but it's kind of curious. They have installed a font viewer and installer, and I have no idea why, but they are featuring a brand new Google-based search page in the home page. I'm not sure why. I wouldn't be proud about that. Let's make that start page or DuckDuckGo. Something that is closer to the community of Linux. All right, let's see. Also added TLP for laptops to light tweaks. I have no idea what that is. All right, so here's LibreOffice. Added the thesaurus for the English language. You can actually do language supports for other systems as well, so the German thesaurus, etc. So they have that. As far as the font viewer, so they're kind of doing several things that make this very close to the Linux Mint branch. Kitty's moving my camera again. So I like that Linux Mint has a lot of these useful tools. Some people consider them more bloatware. Some people consider them actually good and useful. I am on the branch that say they're good and useful. I'd prefer the computer have them, even if I don't necessarily use them. But with Linux, you have the easy ability to install them one way or the other. They are telling you how to use the font installer. If you have a font package, just double click it, and then you will have the option to just click install. So this is kind of a screenshot of it. So you have this install. Of course, they do provide you the warning, and I will echo it here. Make sure you are downloading your fonts from a reputable place. Fonts are one of the top 5 ways a hacker will gain unauthorized access to your system. So you have to be careful where you grab your fonts. Me personally, I use a site called Font Squirrel. They have a listing of a lot of fonts, and there's a whole lot of free and open source fonts available from there. So that's generally where I go when I'm looking for my fonts. You can do the Google fonts. I've never heard of the font. The font, man. What's the font? Kitty, what's the font? The font's cute, man. So that's how the font guy works. Okay, so here's this TLP Lite tweaks. I have no idea what this is. But anyway, here's apparently how it is. You can, I guess, add it and remove it. I don't know. I have no idea whether featuring a new Google-based homepage. That scares the bejeebers out of me. Kernel 4.4. We have Firefox 58, Quantum, Thunderbird 52, LibreOffice 5.1. That's an older version of LibreOffice. VLC 2.2.2, GIMP 2.8, and the Ubuntu base is 16.04. They do have information here on an upgrade path if you happen to have that have this already and want to upgrade to it. That is that. So let me go ahead and come on back over here to the comments while I boot up a virtual machine that contains this. In fact, let me move the comments over to here while I start this up. All right, so we got use LXLE for a while, then switch to Linux Lite from my old AMD Neo. Cool. Kubuntu. Start there. Got a brand new printer. It works on Linux Lite. Lamer Linux. What brand printer is it? I'm curious to know. I actually did have the misfortune of having to fight with a Canon printer. They actually do work, but you have to install proprietary drivers downloaded from their website. It was easy, but it was still, I don't really want to install proprietary drivers if I don't have to. Keegan, I've got a Linux Lite on an older Acer laptop, 1.6 gigahertz AMD Athlon, 3 gigs of RAM, 160 gigabyte hard drive, and it runs great. Yes, Linux Lite search is all right. 22 watching, only 3 likes, and 1 dislike. Yeah, it's probably probably my favorite robot dislikers come over. I get almost immediate dislikes on every video I do. So, you know. Yeah, that's what happens, Lucid Theming. It's like it's either a troll or the demonetization. Yeah, it's probably the demonetization bot. They've already probably demonetized me. That's what I'm thinking. All right, I'm going to go ahead and leave the comment there, and I'm going to come on back over to the full scene setup over here. Actually, I think I have... Do I have distro? Give me a second. Let me... This one is not full screening on me, so I can set up a distro window, actually. There we are. All right, so here is our distro. So this is just booted up. Now we are running on the live key. We are not installed on the VirtualBox as of yet. So if you were to plug this guy into a USB drive or plug it into a virtual machine, this is exactly what you get. So you can install updates, install drivers, install restore point, install language support. Let's go ahead and run through the installation process, and then as we do that, we'll go ahead and poke around under the hood a little bit here while it's in the process of installing. Basic installer, this shouldn't be a big deal, so go ahead and push continue. Let's go ahead and download updates, and let's go ahead and install the third-party stuff, because who doesn't listen to MP3s and watch YouTube videos? Of course, if you are doing this for absolute security, absolute privacy, or you're just not using videos, media, MP3s, Flash, leave that unchecked, and that's going to give us the best overall option there. And that still seems to be waiting. So let me go ahead and read a few more comments. I won't pull them up, but I'll just read them. 5 likes. Well, thank you. See, I keep going back to Mint on my 2012 ThinkPad i7 8 gig RAM SSD, lightning fast, reliable. Wanted to try Ubuntu Mate though. I run Ubuntu Mate on my other system, and it's not nearly as stable or as polished as I find the Linux Mint is. I don't know why this is taking so long. It's just sitting here spinning at me. Let's keep going. So yeah, I mean, if I do that for my backup files, which I keep redundant files everywhere, and if my main backup computer gains a little bit of instability, whatever, I can generally get stuff fixed either way. But as far as actually running things, I don't actually use Ubuntu Mate. I find that it seems to have small pockets of instability when I've used it. I don't really know why. I really wanted to use it, but I tried to live stream on Ubuntu Mate once, and it's just literally just a hard drive right in my computer, and it kept crashing on me. I don't know why. Like, I don't know what this is doing. This should not be sitting here and spinning in a circle like this. I have no idea what this is doing. I kind of want to push quit and restart, maybe without downloading updates, or maybe it's downloading stuff now. I don't know. It shouldn't have a lot to download because, I mean, this is the brand new version. It just came out. I don't know. Okay, so install alongside Arch. We are going to erase the disk and install Arch. This is on a virtual machine, so yeah, I don't care what's on that little disk. Likely it's a system that doesn't work well, etc., etc. It is setting up some swap. It is setting up the major drive. It's writing some changes. Now it's going to ask us where we happen to be. New York, New York. There's US English. US English, Linux Lite, Linux Lite. Let's do Linux Lite. By the way, don't use that type of password if you are wanting security. This is just a VirtualBox, and it'll probably be erased within a week. So we're going to do that. All right, so that is now copying our files. Let's go ahead and poke under the hood a little bit while we're copying files. So we have our setup is very much like a Windows environment. So if you are used to a Windows type environment, and just an FYI, if you're watching this thinking about Linux for the first time, the size here is so small because I'm in a VirtualBox and I haven't not installed the things that gives me full screen and stuff. So it's kind of at, I think this is at a 1066 by, so 1066, no. 1366 by 768 is my guess, is what we're at right now. But our setup is very much like a Windows setup. You can actually move things around. It's going to take me just a second to remember how to do all that stuff. I don't use XFCE on a daily basis. Here we have a menu, which is very much like, I would best describe this as kind of like the Windows XP menu. You can adjust the size if you want the size really big or really small. You can go ahead and change your menu size like that. So here under all applications, that's too much. Let's see. My computer just gives us a list of all of our files. Our settings are all of the variety of settings. If you don't want to dig through this, you can click the settings manager, and this is going to give you all of those in a control panel like format with a variety of settings, etc., etc. All right, under accessories, this is where we start getting some of the built-in items. So text editor, here's our terminal, screenshot to take some screenshots of the system. Usually pushing the print screen button will cause that to occur. Back to our home folder again. Here's our new font viewer, which is installed in this version. We can do a file search, a calculator, a backup program, archive manager. Let's have a quick look at the backup program. I think this is probably, yeah, this is going to be the same backup system on the Ubuntu computer. All right, so that's accessories. Graphics. We have GIMP. If you are unaware, GIMP stands for GNU Image Manipulation Program. So this is GIMP, although the icon or the name doesn't look like it, but it does have GIMP installed. Here's our basic image viewer, which will quickly view any images. The scanner is set up, so if you were to plug in any type of computer here, then you have the ability to just push this button. It'll detect whatever scanner as long as the scanner is compatible with Linux, and that's going to go. Here's our internet. We have our Firefox, network connections, online support for Linux Lite. So if you are looking for some help, click on that. And we have Thunderbird, multimedia, CD/DVD burner built in by default. If you don't want that, you can actually uninstall. Let's see, can you uninstall from these? No. Linux Mint Cinnamon, you can uninstall just by right-clicking. Here we can add it to the favorites, which will give us a favorites menu. I think the favorites are down here on this one. Let's actually try that. I think it's down here. No, maybe? Where'd that go? Did it vanish? I thought the favorites were on the bottom, but okay, I'll have to track down where the favorites are. I think actually the favorites, you turn it on in the menu here. We'll look at the menu here in a bit. So we have VLC. This is our audio controller. here we have just the three basic components most people would use from LibreOffice. You have the document writer, the PowerPoint type presentations. It's called LibreImpress, and we have the spreadsheet, which is called LibreCalc. We have a basic PDF viewer, and here is our system, and the cat just tried to select the button. The cat just entered +630 dot. Kitty, are you calling the alien spaceship? Are you? He is calling the handler on me. I'm a space alien too. This guy here's my handler, and he's calling the secret code. Look at that, +630 dot. Kitty, kitty. It's the number for the spaceship. All right, they're coming to take me away. Oh my. All right, we're gonna go ahead and it's done installing. We're gonna click continue testing there, and it should give us that. All right, so there's our office. Here is our system. So here is a software, Linux Lite software installer, Linux Lite tweaks to clean up your system. Let's go ahead and have a look at some of these here. Would you like to update your sources? Let's go ahead and do that. I should have probably clicked no for now, but we'll let it go. All right, so here we have install software, we remove software. So this is, I believe it's going to be looking at some of the most popular software. This is nice. I like this. I don't use Linux Lite a lot. I'm familiar with it, and I recommend it to people with lower spec computers. But all right, so Audacity, if you are into music editing things, Audacity. Calibri is a wonderful ebook reader and ebook manager platform. I actually have Calibri running on my my home media server myself. I can actually access it and download any ebooks to it. We have Dropbox, Chromium, Cherry Tree. Games Packs, FileZilla, iDevice Manager, Manager iDevices. Okay. We have Kodi, which is a kind of like a full screen media player. Music player, this is Clementine. Okay. One of the things I don't like about this right away is it's not giving me, in many cases, the most known or most common name for an application. So like this, I immediately thought and knew it was Clementine based on the logo, which is an orange peel, but it tells me music player, and over here it tells me it's Clementine as a modern music player. I would really like to see all of the applications, what they are here, like what the actual application name is here. Like for example, GIMP. I would really like it if it said GIMP because people know what GIMP is, but very few people know that GIMP is an acronym for GNU Image Manipulation Program. That's one of the things that I would like to see differently in here. But regardless, we have a lot of good applications. So that's actually something that is specific. There is a remove software item. We're not going to work with that anymore. I want to have a look also at the Lite tweaks. All right, so boot up fix, so restore the boot splash to Linux Lite. So these are actually pretty cool little items. Things that most people I don't think would think of, but these are applications a lot of people sometimes can be driven crazy that they can't find them. So it looks like the start key does not actually give me my menu. But if I come down here, for example, and click Whisper menu, let's see if this can remove 4 recently used items. Okay, so that's just editing the menu. I want to see if, okay, so here's enable or disable number lock. So if I select that, hit begin, it's going to grab this. So here it will tell me, am I going to enable or disable the number lock? So that's actually pretty cool. So let's go ahead and quit. I would like it if it, okay, it does. It does return me right back to this screen here so I can do a lot of different things. So this is actually a really cool application. I like that. That's really nice. Login settings, partition drives, resource usage. Okay, so this is basically HTOP. You can see the whole system right now is running on 692 megabytes of RAM. So that is how light the system happens to be. Okay, let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and close this down. I'm going to restart the system, and I'm going to switch over to comments while I do that, and then we'll boot up. And when I boot this back up, then it's going to we'll go ahead and load this back in and have a look at it from the other side. All right, let's see. Actually sounds like a pretty solid computer. Yeesh. Wow, lots of folks jumped on. Greetings, everybody who jumped on a little bit late. I'm going to come back over here. Let me push enter on that. Let's just stick on comments for a little bit. Okay, I think we got to take out Windows. Best decision ever. Your Canon is a pain under Linux, and HP is better. I won't buy HP products. I actually, Brother printers will generally install without any problems. Scanners, Brother scanners will have some problems. I know Epson scanners run perfectly fine. I think Epson printers run perfectly fine as well. I don't know about HP. I do not buy HP products. I do not recommend HP products. In fact, I disrecommend HP products. I had a bad experience with HP as a geeky little undergraduate or a geeky little graduate student, and I tried to work with them, and they decided not to work with me. And so I said, you know what? I'm never going to recommend HP again, and I'm going to spread the word as far and wide as possible. So I hate HP. There's my recommendation. All right. Whew. I ate too many carbs yesterday, and my body is screaming for water today. But I did have the most amazing pizza while I was out on the road. It was it's a make of a pizza you can't refuse. Linux Lite seems to not work on UEFI BIOS. Huh. I don't know. I don't know. Pretty late at night to do a stream. Yes, yes. It is very late for me to do a stream, but I just got in not long ago. So, got OpenBox installed on my Linux Lite, which made my distro a whole lot faster. Nice. XP the PC nerd just got notification of stream. Yeah, the notification went up only 10 minutes before I started. So only 40 minutes ago is when the thing actually showed up. My apologies for that. All right, testing Red Core Linux now. Gentoo-based distro for newbies. I thought Chrome OS was a Gentoo-based distro for newbies. Oh. Always a fuzzy feeling for new releases. Yeah. Hello, Rose. How are you? M. Lamarck, how are you? Linux Lite seems to be a bit faster than Xubuntu. I don't know. I'm not sure I've actually used Xubuntu. I've probably used it about as much as Linux Lite, though, to be honest. I mean, it's a bug when the installer is stuck on preparing to install. It just takes time. Yeah, just be a little patient with it, I guess. I mean, what more do I want? I'm already streaming the thing in 1080p and, got 2 different HD cameras running. What do I want? Everything out of my computer while installing a Linux distro? It's not Linux Mint, but it's better than using pure Gentoo. Red Core was made for newbies. I'm not a pro user, just checking out how Gentoo works. Can't wait to see Linux kernel 4.16 that comes with VirtualBox guest editions built in. Ooh, that'd be fun. Use Ubuntu Mate on my laptop. Haven't had any issues with it, but there were some small things made me stick with Mint on everything else. Yeah, I can understand that. Mint Mate is my favorite Mate. Okay, cool. There you go. Yeah, I just absolutely love Linux Mint Cinnamon. There's like nothing about Linux Mint Cinnamon I would want to change. That's the thing about it. That's why it's for me, it's the perfect distro. I can't even really think of anything that I really wanted to do. It's kind of funny. Only real issues I've had with Mint are more hardware related, or just for my own stupidity. I don't know. Lucid Theming says message retracted. Favorite is on the whisker menu. Okay, I think that must not be the whisker menu then. Okay. Brother printer was a pain in the butt to get Bluetooth printer working. I have not tried Bluetooth printing. Favorite to the top of the box. Okay. Oh, that's right, TSM. That is right. The favorites is a favorites list at the very top of the system. That's right. Now I'm remembering. It's all coming back to me. ET finally phones home. Yes, he does. He says 630 dot. It's secret code. I'm telling you, they're coming for me. I'm going to be on Mars tomorrow. I know it. I'm going to wake up on Mars surrounded by hundreds of these squashy little guys. Kindle Fire, Windows or Linux? Linux all the way. Thinking of reinstalling this distro. Cool. Kitty, would you stop brushing against my camera? The kitty's like doing his head rub thing like this against my camera base. Kitty, stop messing my camera. Surprisingly, when my friends stated they have great experiences with Mint. Hello, Spine Viking, by the way. I think a lot of us user error and hardware incompatibilities. Yep. I always like Linux Lite as well as NX. Yeah. The thing I dislike about the Lite software tool is if you install Kodi, it gives you the Debian version of Kodi, Kodi 16. You know what? An older version of Kodi, I'm guessing you're meaning by that. Let me see what version of Kodi is over here. This is Kodi on Linux Mint on the computer behind me. You can't see it because it's kind of in the way of the comment box. I'm just trying to remember where my system information is. Just got to remember how to check the version of Kodi I'm actually on. Actually, I think I need to go system info. I can never find it, and it's dependent on the theme as well, and so I cannot tell what version of Kodi I have, for at least from here. I think I can check that in the version, right? I don't know. I don't remember. Anyway, if you're referring to older version, yeah, Linux Lite does actually have an older version of some of these applications. Like, you know, LibreOffice on here is old. Only distro, the looks of the distro, and don't study up on forms, software, hardware. I think you are right. Oh, I'm sorry. Where'd that comment go? Wesley, you are absolutely right in that. It is important to look at all of the hardware that you have to decide which Linux distro you're going to run to make sure everything works on it. Like, the biggest complaint I see is, you know, internet doesn't work. Do you have a Broadcom modem? Well, don't install Ubuntu 16 base if you have a Broadcom modem, unless you have a way to hook up internet to it another way to get the drivers you need. You know, in which case, when that happens, I just tether it with the phone. Just plug in most smartphones. If you plug in the smartphone directly into the computer, you can tether the internet directly to the computer. That'll bypass the Broadcom modem and allow you to download the drivers, particularly if you're using like Linux Mint, where it has a driver install tool. So make sure you know what type of the hardware is. And several, like, one of the things I like about Dell is you can type in the service tag on the Dell computer. It'll give you the listing of every component that's in there. Maybe it's VBox. It's possible it's VBox. It's also possible that it's because I wasn't installed on there. Terrarium. I haven't seen that, but I absolutely love Kodi. So, Gregory Locke, greetings. Linux Lite is his favorite. I thought Terrarium was for my lizards. I mean, that's what I thought, but I don't know. I've never thought about putting a robot in a terrarium, but lizards go in terrariums quite nicely. Linux Lite, low fat, low sugar, and healthy Linux for you. There you go. That's it. All right, I think what we're going to do... Hello, Zerogan. Yeah, we did the notification. It was really super late. I'm going to go ahead and restart my machine over here and see if it comes on with guest editions installed. In the meantime, I'm going to keep reading comments. HP laptops I don't recommend anymore. Yep. I haven't for years. Okay, so it does look like if you are looking for something that you need the guest editions working for, don't use Linux Lite unless you want to fight with guest editions, because it does not seem to want to work. And so we are back up and running over here. So now we are actually installed. So we get the basic start screen, which I can show or hide over this dialog box down here. I'm going to go ahead and close that up. And it might not be doing the start key simply because I am not only am I on VirtualBox, but I'm also not full screen. If I'm full screen, I'm pretty sure that the whisker menu would work. So here's your favorites, by the way, where I was thinking favorites. What I was thinking of is on my Ubuntu Mate and on my Linux Mint, I have a favorites that lines. We got another column to the left of this with a few other icons. You might be able to actually edit this menu to do that. I just don't remember. But anyway, let's go ahead and have a look at everything. There's a light upgrade, preferred applications. So this does not have one of the driver, I'm not seeing it anyway. This does not have the driver option that Linux Mint has, where you can click on that and it will actually give you better driver setups. So that's one of the things that I kind of like to see, especially if we're dealing with new users and other systems. Let's start up our Firefox here. So here's their new start page that's based on Google, apparently. If it loads, I'm not sure why it's taking this thing so long to load. We should be on internet. Well, that worked. So this is interesting. I'm not sure what's going on. Give me startpage.com, enter. So that's loading up just fine. But if I go back to my main default home page, website's temporarily unable to service your request as it is exceeded its resource limit. Okay, speaking as a web designer for a moment, this is an error I've seen a lot of companies do. I had a client one time who they called me up. They're like, we can't access anything on the website. So I go into the control system and they had exceeded all of their allotted bandwidth, which was quite significant. How did they do it? Well, the first thing is they wanted to show how trendy they were. So they made it so their own personal homepage was the default homepage for every browser on their network, on their office, when they had, I don't know, at least a few dozen employees. And then they decided that they did not want to hire me to outsource the website stuff anymore. They just kept me on to host the thing because I provided cheaper hosting. But they're like, we're going to take care of this stuff themselves. And so they installed something, and they without knowing what they were doing, of course, this happens all the time, they uploaded images of an inappropriate size. So they're uploading images in 300K resolution that were like 15 or 20 megabytes, 4 of these on a slider. And so basically every single time a person would load up the website, it would go online and it would pull 25 megabytes of data. So in the course of like 2 weeks of running that, they exceeded their bandwidth. I think that that's what they just did here, is they put in this nice new trendy search page, defaulted it as a system, pushed out to everybody in the world, and exceeded their bandwidth. Don't do this, people. Don't do this unless you have a lot of bandwidth in what you're doing, because even an unlimited plan is actually quite limited. They say unlimited because most people would never come close to needing those resources. So that's exactly what happened here. So Linux Lite guys, bad mojo. Don't do this. If you want it to be Google, default it to Google. I would recommend you default it to DuckDuckGo or Start Page. Particularly if you're trying to say, you know, we want more privacy, we want more security. Well, don't send people to Google by default, for crying out loud. But anyway, so that's a little whoopsie on their behalf. You don't want to do that. You don't want to redirect somebody to your own page, particularly if it's going out to something that has been downloaded as many hundreds of thousands of times as this has, because everyone's going to be polling that site and you're going to exceed your bandwidth. Fairly common problem. I've seen that happen a lot. I'm not expecting I'm going to see anything different here that wasn't already on the system when we looked at it earlier. So everything else there looks good. We haven't done anything else. Let's go have a quick look at the resource usage again now that we are installed. So now that we are installed and we haven't really done much since installing it, notice that now we are running at 324 megabytes of RAM. So that is how lightweight this system is. And that is one of the things that makes it good. You can actually adjust the panels. On your panel preferences, once you can grab this, I believe you have to right click and move it. I gotta remember exactly how. Like I said, I don't use XFCE quite as much as you can. It is possible to grab this guy and move it. You can actually move it anywhere you want to move it. Uh-oh. There we go. Actually, it almost looks like it has guest editions installed. We're going to give that a second, see if it actually works right. Huh. Actually, it does look like guest editions are installed after all. It just took them a few minutes to get there. All right. Okay, there we go. Locking the panel. Now that the panel is locked, there we go. The funny thing about this is the only one I know of where you can literally put the panel right in the middle of the computer. But if you do like the panel on the top or you like the panel on the bottom, nice and easy to do. You can also make it a horizontal or a vertical. Now, the desk bar means that you'll see how things are lining up slightly different versus if we take the versus if we take the vertical. You'll see the vertical, it keeps everything kind of like this. Why in the world would you want to do this? Well, it's very possible to rotate your desktops, particularly if you're running a variety of different monitors. You can have your monitor on its side, and a distro that does not necessarily allow you to do this option with the panel, you might kind of be stuck. That's why if you are using a multi-monitor setup, this might be a good distro to use, because you have that option of the vertical panel or the desk bar panel like this. I generally prefer to keep them like this. You can set to automatically hide it, whatever else. Here is the row size, how high it is. So one of the things you noticed when we went to the desk bar mode, that the menu was cut off. You just need to give yourself a little bit more panel space there. This is kind of the default to how... oh, MX Linux. That's the third one. See? This is the default for MX Linux, which runs a lot of the same system. So MX Linux, Linux Lite, and Peppermint are the ones that I would recommend for a light computer. So you have the option there to scale these guys. You can make it really big. You can make it really small. What's the smallest? 16, it looks like, is the smallest you can do. Number of rows. So you can actually make it multiple rows if you want. How many rows can you have? 6 rows. That's a lot. And then we can actually shorten our length as well. Under your appearance, you can use a background image. So if you want to do like a cool gradient, you can do a cool gradient there. We can do a solid color here if you want to do something like this. So you could actually grab your colors. And then you can you should be able to make some opacities to that. Why am I not able to make opacities? You should be able to do some opacities. I'm not sure why it's not letting me right now. That's interesting. Somebody out there, if you know why I can't set opacities, please let me know. Here's our various items, so we can add a variety of different items onto the bar. That red is quite eye-bleeding, but we'll leave it. I don't think we're going to be in here very much longer. You can actually... drag things around, I believe. I think you have to right-click and move the items. So you should be able to move them. You might need to unlock them. There is the option to lock on some versions. It looks like this version does not have the lock and unlock ability. Go ahead and lock the panel, close that. So now I have my desktop icon over there. So I can have launchers kind of wherever I want, whatever your system happens to be. So I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up the distro portion of this anyway. So then I think what we're going to do here is we'll wrap up the comments. See if there's anything else you guys want to see in here before I wrap this up. Let me know. But we'll go ahead and wrap up a few more of the comments here. Fortunately, HP seems to work with Linux, though. It does, but Dell works better. Honestly, I've had better luck with Dells than HP's. HP has heavy problems, yes. Greetings, George. How much did I miss? I started about 45 minutes. I'm not sure how long you jumped on, but I started about 45 minutes ago. Prefer building my own desktop over getting pre-builds any day. Yeah, the computer I'm on here is a self-built one, so it's a really cool one. I load up on protein only almost all the time. Yep, that's probably the better way to go. Make sure you get lots of water though. If you're consuming more than like 30% protein in your diet, 30% of your diet is protein. You want to make sure you're drinking slightly more water than you should be, like more than the 8 ounces recommended. You know, 8 ounce glasses they recommend. And the reason is that when you metabolize proteins, you cleave off the amino groups, and the amino groups have to go somewhere. And if you don't have enough water flowing through your body, it will actually crystallize as uric acid over your joints, leading to arthritis. So if you do eat more protein, make sure you're also drinking more water. One thing I don't like about Linux Lite is it demands to be controlling distro and dual boot. Oh, really? I did not know that. And nothing but bad luck with Linux Lite. I've tried it on all my hardware for the last year and a half and not had a good experience yet. Zerogon, I think that's her name. How does Peppermint work for you? I love Peppermint. Like, that's why of those three, I run Peppermint as my other writing computers. Why are you getting demonetized if your channel is so user-friendly? I don't know. If I knew the answer to that, I mean, I probably because I don't create enough shock value. I don't go out into the woods and film enough dead bodies to get millions of people on my channel. That's probably the reason. Maybe we should club a little kitty. Should we club this kitty? Everyone, quick! Should we club this kitty? Get 1 million views? Can we club you for 1 million views? No, I wouldn't do that. He's too cute. He's too cute. He deserves an extra temptation tonight, doesn't he? You guys tell me, should he get 4 temptations tonight instead of 3? You guys let me know. Should he get 4 instead of 3? Let's see. I need to test Peppermint again, but it worked in most recent worked faster. Okay, cool. Greetings, Guard. How are you? Greetings, James Miller. See, I mentioned temptations. Now he's reaching for them. Hello, Anna Rita. How are you? Oh, and greetings from Virginia. Cool. Don't know if you write about your meaning about Intel me or Tech. Am I wrong? Can you tell me your meaning? So, as I know, you didn't write video about your meaning about Intel me. Let's see. Yeah, I apologize. I know this is not your first language. I'm just having a hard time understanding what you're trying to say. Something about Intel. I apologize. I'm not sure I understand the comment, the question. Maybe we can try and get it reworded. We'll see if anyone can help me interpret that. Let me know. Gets demonetized because of the bots on YouTube. Probably. I can't say I like cinnamon. I prefer XFCE with the whisker. Yeah. My test XFCE is faster than Cinnamon, but Cinnamon is more like Windows desktops. Yeah, that's absolutely true. XFCE is faster. Like this computer is a quad-core processor with 32 gigs of RAM. I'm not exactly worried about system resources. I mean, like I said, I am currently running 2 HD cameras, streaming, running a VirtualBox. It is consuming a fourth of my RAM, and I haven't really stuttered yet. I'm not all that worried. And the other computer I run Cinnamon on is I think it's a dual core processor with 8 gigs of RAM. So I'm not all that concerned about that. Andergott's GNOME or Elementary OS are my common go-tos. I'm sorry. That's all right though. We tried Makulu Linux. It has been a long time. Probably about 6 months ago or so, I did a video where I themed a Makulu Linux to look almost exactly like Windows 10. If you weren't paying attention, you'd think my Makulu Linux is Windows 10. Kitty's over here. He's like, give me all the love, man. Give me all the love. Give me all the love. He is indeed. Go kitty comments. We got some kitty comments. Here we are. There we go. Yeah, look at that. Look at that cat. Latest Kodi. Okay, latest Kodi is 17.6. Thank you. Oh. Oh. I am not going to get to all these comments. I do apologize. Okay. PPA for the latest. MX Linux is fighting for all my favorites. I let them fight. I play with Peppermint. Latest list of hardware that works on websites. Still own and run a Dell from 2010. Actually, my main work computer right now is a 2010 laptop. Yep, and it works beautifully. Linux Lite is ugly till you change the themes. Lite 3.6 has the same driver manager as Mint does. Don't tell me they took it out. Check the whisker menu for it. Huh. What do you know? It is in there. Where'd my distro go? There's my distro. Yeah, there it is. Thank you. Yeah, checking it. I just typed in install drivers. It's there. Same drivers. That's right. Why did we not see it earlier? I was looking for it in the settings, which is where it is in Linux Mint. That's probably why. Okay, let's see. Where is it in the menu? Is it System? No. Okay, it is under the settings menu. It's just not in the main settings. So apparently all of the settings here are not all in the settings manager. That's something else I would do, is make sure you have a menu where you can do that. Maybe it is actually in the Linux Lite user. Let's see, that's the user manager. Where was that Linux the Linux Lite system at? Lite software, Lite tweaks. Let's see if it's in Lite tweaks. It is not. Linux Lite, people. Why can I not find the driver manager unless I specifically go into the menu looking for it? That should either be inside of the system settings or in this Lite tweaks. That is definitely a change that I would do, because I was looking for it and missed it. I didn't even think of that. absolutely. All right. It's there. It's just not easy to find, apparently. You got to search for it. Screen has a start here section, gives you steps. That's possible. That is very possible that it's in there, Lamer Linux. Resting for physics. Linux Lite right now seems to be okay for me. Yeah. Yeah, so let's, there's several comments there about the themes. So let's go ahead and go into my main settings, and let's just have a look at the main themes that you have. So this is one of the things actually I don't like about the XFCE is just the way they manage the colorations and things. I wish something would overrun that ugly red menu. Let's go back over here. All right, let me, properties, nope, close. Panel preferences, appearance, solid color, use system theme, close. Okay, so one of the things I don't like about it is it seems fairly limited in the settings colors. Some people might say it looks more dated. I think that you have a decent variety of old, more dated. It's like this one definitely looks more old and dated. This one looks a little bit more new, a little bit more 3D. So, you know, and that's okay. Then you do have a variety of different icons you can pick from as well. Well, not a whole lot, apparently. Well, we kind of have that many icons, apparently. All right, here's our fonts. Here's our settings. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, you can download better themes and make it look a little bit better. You also in XFCE have the ability to make some customized settings if you know CSS scripts and things like that. You can do stuff like that to it as well. So there's a lot that you can do. Stay off my desk, kitty. No back paws on my desk. What does MX mean? I have no idea. Anyone know what MX means? Doesn't mean anything. Could be compositor not playing well with guest editions. That is very possible. Yeah, I know the only system I have that runs XFCE that I've done a lot of customizing to is my cubes install, because I do use that enough that I really wanted to make it look pretty. And so I actually have made my cubes install look really nice. Greetings, Tom. Say hello to Tim and hugs to the kitties. All right, kitties. Hugs to the kitties. He's like, what? What, kitties? Hello, Mel. It's a very boring wallpaper. That is a very boring wallpaper. Well, we right-click and we got to this. Hey, there's some books. There's some cool wallpapers in here. There. That one should be less boring for you. Is that one less boring? That one's less boring. All right. Oh, Katie's going to try and write code again. 4 temptations. Just 3. All right, we have a 4. We have a 3. Huge mess surrounding GNOME and their policies for server and server-side decoration, hard-coding their DE on Wayland, enforcing apps to use CSD. You're going to cover this on the channel. I have no idea, Fabio, because I don't have time to dig into the hardcore background as to what is in all of that. And being as that I hate GNOME, I hate Wayland, I don't care. I'll just stick with what I like for now. I mean, if it becomes big enough or whatever else, you know, whatever, maybe. Should I hire, Tom, not only should I hire you, but as my nutrition advisor. I can't legally charge you to be a nutrition advisor. I'll tell you all you want. Make the video or... Probably. I'm not going to read the rest of that, but probably. Hello, Rose, my neighbor from across the pond. All right. Tired of hearing about Logan Paul and Chuck videos. You are not the only one, sir. Cheers from Brazil. Greetings, Brazil. Lost my friend's 3-year-old sister is watching the stream. Nice. Greetings. Hi. I have a niece that's about 3. She was dressed as a princess today. Back, by the way. All right, pizza. Ubuntu Unity is best. Oh, Google really needs to fix this. The scrolling problem on comments. Comment go-to is reborn now. All right, cool. Yeah, reborn's pretty cool. This cat's name. This one's named TJ, or CJ. This is CJ. I have another cat named TJ. She's camera shy. This guy is all over. This guy's just all over wherever I'm at. He makes it very hard to work. If I'm sleeping, he's laying on top of me. If I'm working, he's laying in my lap. He's just a lap cat all the way. This is the only time he's allowed on my desk is when I'm streaming. He's not allowed up here any other time. So he likes being up here, and he's purring up a storm. Yeah, you're gonna get reported. All right, bye-bye. I need another moderator on here. I think Pizza just came back, but Pizza, you are a moderator on here, by the way. And by the way, for all those fun people in there, you know, like, you know, with my that person trying to sell Bitcoin mining, yeah, ain't gonna work on my network, buddy. I blocked them bad boys. Tom, is your neighbor playing drums? Because I hear it in the background. Out of that, or I'm hearing noises. You're hearing Kitty. And it says all cats do is eat and sleep. Essentially. And shed. And shed. There's so much cat fur all over this place because of that. Is that the same person again? You'd think when I like report somebody for unwanted spam, they'd kind of block. I don't know. All right, well, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap this bad boy up. Thanks, appreciate that. All right, I think we're going to go ahead and drive this machine home. Let's go ahead and do the dual-sided kitty feeding. Dual-sided kitty feeding. Are we ready for dual-sided kitty feeding? Kitties from multiple angles. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Get off my desk. Come here. Oh. And one more. We're just going to do 3 today. Are they finger looking good? Aw, their finger looking good, aren't they? That's it. You got your pay for the day. He's on paid contract. He gets 3 temptations for showing up on the stream and raising my comments and my likes and my views, right? All right. Let's look into this camera, kitty. This camera here and say, bye-bye, everyone. All right. Let's go ahead. Hold on. I got to do one more. One more. There you go. All right, everyone. In order to help feed me some temptations, check out switchtolinux.com/support and help this guy. He needs it. Well, thanks for watching, guys. We're going to go ahead and wrap this guy up. I'm going to be online at some point tomorrow. I don't know what time. I don't know if it's going to be like early or late. I don't know if it's going to be just me. I don't know if it's going to be me and someone else or whatever else the situation is. But regardless, we are going to do something tomorrow in between all the work I plan on doing. So hopefully I'm going to get some work done tomorrow too. All right. Well, thanks for watching, folks. Before the kitty completely knocks my camera over, I'm going to close this guy down. Have yourselves a good evening, and we'll see you tomorrow.